Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. Today, we'll be talking something very important, and it's about this woman who actually came out to talk about how, it feels like to be systematically, oppressed and all that. That is how Black people, they've treated Black people, like in America and all that. As then she decided to compare, compare their experiences to Black people's experience. Now, how did she bring in her own experience to Black people's experience? Financial problem, like you all know that inflation is hitting everybody. So for that reason, she thought it's a very good reason to compare inflation to Black people's experience and all that. But I don't think going through inflation can be compared to Black experience. And yeah, she actually mentioned that slavery was never abolished, which every one of us, we all know that one, that it was never abolished. It's just rebranded and all that. And you all understand that capitalism also is also like, slavery, rebranded and all that. So according to her, the government is also designed to protect the constitution. The truth is that most colored people, they refuse to understand that the system most times is only designed for the rich ones, not even for the poor ones. So when Black people are struggling, they are also struggling, but they refuse to come together to look for solution to this. You know what? Let's get.
You know what, bro? That's facts on facts, right? A lot of people are not going to receive this message well because it's coming from a white woman. And, well, we're more known for being nuclear Karens than being politically fucking woke. But now every American knows what it feels like to be systematically oppressed, as Black people have been historically speaking in fucking America. We are all financially fucking oppressed, and we are all the new slave force. Like, they never actually abolished slavery, right? They just made it non-specific in way of demographics, right? They rebranded this shit. They were like, how do we get Americans to continue being the slave force and perpetually vote against their own self-interest while operating in a government that's designed to protect their constitutional rights against such? We propagate them. They used to give slaves a manipulated Bible so they believed it was their God-given right to be a good slave. What did they give Americans? Mainstream media and fucking propaganda. We believe it's the American dream to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, that you just gotta work harder and you'll fucking get there, even though you're operating in a system designed against you, designed for overtaxation without representation. My father always said it from the moment he came to America, that they put you against them, against them, against them, against them, and then one day it's on you. And right now it is on us, and that has always been by design. It is us versus them. But now every American knows what it feels like to be systematically oppressed, as Black people have.
It's just funny to me, like once people start feeling uncomfortable in this country, they start comparing it to the Black experience. You get hit with like a little inflation. Oh my God, now I know what it feels like to be Black. Whereas for centuries, white families been making 10 times even more than Black families. If a Black family make 27,000, a white family is making 270,000. And even in this uncomfortableness, she could still call the police and automatically they gonna take her side. Then she proceeds to say, it's us against them, meaning the people against the government. I've never been a fan of that saying, an enemy of my enemy is a friend of mine, because that relationship is just based on circumstance. And once circumstances change, so does the relationship, which I don't really care. It's just exhausting that it takes a white face to validate the Black experience. Remember not too long ago, that college girls team that went to Iowa and they were chased by those men in the truck and they were using racial slurs to them. It took the white coach to go on TV to say racism is real for anyone to really believe it. And overall, they just got to stop comparing their uncomfortableness to the Black experience, because it's nothing like it.
Racism just flat out does not make sense in America because it's the sum total of...
Yo, I've been saying this for years, bro. I just never said it to any Black people because I thought they'd think I'm crazy. But the couple of the white folks I done told also thought I was a little crazy, but it did make sense to them type stuff. But Now I'm starting to see more and more white people coming to the realization black people aren't the slaves in this country anymore. We're the tools that they use to enslave white people. I mean, just look at the BLM movement, the Me Too movement, the all the cancellation culture and stuff like that. That was the powers that be trying to rein in the rich white people, bring them down a peg. You know what I'm saying? Because it's people that's even above them that want them under control as well. But who is the biggest number of people in this country? White people. So who probably has the highest number in the workforce? White people. So who probably contributes the most to taxes that get spent overseas and on Israel and Ukraine and all that? White people. Who has been some of the most common offenders and taking the L behind this cancel culture and all that stuff? White people, specifically white men. But when you really think about it, if you took all 45 million black people in America and tried to re-enslave them right now, there's not enough of us to hold up the American infrastructure of what it is today. But there's plenty of white people. Somebody's got to flip the patties. And they ain't got Negroes in the kitchen no more. You know, I got a lot of white friends. Plenty of white friends. Of course, I got a whole bunch of, my homies and stuff. Black people and all that stuff. I got black people that's in middle class and a couple black friends that's rich. But a lot of my white friends are like lower middle class or right on the cusp and stuff. Or they are middle class, or like the white people I grew up knowing who I probably don't see anymore because they moved or whatever. They were all middle class, especially when I was in high school. Very middle class. And their parents were living paycheck to paycheck. Just like my mom was living paycheck to paycheck. And my dad was living paycheck to paycheck. Just they paycheck to paycheck in the hood. And they paycheck to paycheck in Mayfield Heights type stuff. But they're living paycheck to paycheck. And I thought, once you get up there to where you in the middle class and start to move to the upper class and the elite class and all that stuff, you stop living paycheck to paycheck. No, that don't mean that, you got all this exuberant amount of money left over. But you still got a couple of dollars to save. You know what I'm saying? You can still buy some stuff. Have some fun for yourself and still save like 100, 200, maybe $300 every paycheck. You know what I'm saying? No, they are living paycheck to paycheck, baby. And that's mostly white people. So white people need to wake up like this young lady did. Stop blaming the Negroes and the Chinese and the Muslims and the Arabs. Just stop blaming them, big dog, because it ain't us. Y'all the new slaves. We just tools. We ain't the slaves, we the tools. You know what I'm saying? We the whip. When y'all get out of hand, they use black people to put you in line. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you said this to a black person. Or they use women. Oh, you had this sex scandal or this case. Or maybe you actually did it and we've been keeping your secret, but now we about to tell on you to rein you in. I've been saying this 4 years, and it's crazy that this is like the 4th video on TikTok I've seen of a white person saying this. Crazy. But yeah. White people need to wake up. Y'all the new slaves. There's more of y'all than anything. And y'all pay most of the taxes. Biggest minority in jail. Or not minority, but the biggest number in jail. As much as y'all like to try to say black folks this crime stats that. There's 45 million black people in America. And out of 45 million of us, less than 1% are in jail for murder. So that whole 1360 or whatever it is, 13% of the population is, no, it's not. It's actually 1% of black people are responsible for whatever the murder rate is. That's only 1% of us. The poorest and craziest of us. The other 45 million of us don't indulge in that, as much as y'all like to use that stat to make it seem like all black people do this. But you have to be an idiot to believe that. You know what I'm saying? But on the other hand, there's a lot of white people in jail. Especially for all the education and the societal propping up of your race that has been going on. Like, y'all been in charge of America since the conception of America. And it's so many of y'all in jail. Why is it so many of y'all in jail? If they love y'all so much, and white folks are so special, why so many of y'all in jail? If the white man just get away with everything, why so many of y'all in jail? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. There's a lot of y'all on welfare. There's a lot of y'all in them. When I used to work as a loan officer, most of our clients are white. And they ain't getting $15,000 so they can go buy a tractor and start a farm. No, they getting a $300 loan to help cover their bills and food for the next 3 weeks. Something to think about, guys. White people, wake up. I know you don't want to be woke, but you need to open your eyes, buddy. The American dream is a dream.
Black people in America today are hope fatigued, and what that means is after slavery was quote unquote abolished for at least a century, black people tried to build a black America that was for us and by us. But the supremacists, that don't sit too well with them. So over the course of history, repeatedly, they came in, burned everything down, killed the men, raped the women, tossed the babies in the fire, all because we was trying to build equal to what they've already made us build for them. Mind you that at this point in time in history, we had no gun rights. We were barely fighting to even be considered human. So black people got tired of trying. We got tired of trying to build black America because it was expected, and we were comfortable with the fact that the supremacists was going to come in and destroy it because they can't control it. The problem I'm having is we are right now in the most opportune time to build a black America. We have the most advantages today. We have the most rights today. We have the gun rights to protect ourselves. We have everything today that our ancestors did not have to protect themselves. You want to stop history from repeating itself? Go down there to your local gun shop, buy something, train with it, train everybody around you, and then build.
Black Moses, black roses.
So this is all I got from the stitches, and sincerely speaking, I don't know, but I feel like most times colored people try to should I say minimize black people's experience, or make it look like they're also going through the same thing that black people went through when they have not even experienced anything. I mean, like, they have not even experienced anything black people experienced during slavery and all that. So I think it really doesn't make any sense, trying to compare your stress or black experience to yours. It's never incomparable. It's not something people compare and all that. Now, when you look at when you look at them and look at black people, you can actually understand that there is difference, especially when it comes to earning and all that. I mean, it's not the same, right? A black person works extra hard to probably meet up with a colored person. So sometimes I think it's just them making bad decisions, and at the same time, most of the bad decisions they made, especially when it comes to voting, also hitting them hard, and the inflation and all that. Now, some of them are beginning to thinking that their experience is also like black people. I don't know, but like also comparing their experience with black, what black people went through and all that. But the truth is that they are still at their advantages, or the advantage they have, it's like a lot. They can still call a cop on someone that look like me, or be able to protect themselves, themselves again, when it comes to the cops. But most times we do not have that opportunity, probably before you finish explaining and all that, you probably may have landed yourself somewhere, or maybe tased and all that. So I think it's just a very wrong move trying to compare. At least now some of them are beginning to understand what it looks like, because something is hitting them really hard. That is probably the inflection that is. So if the inflection is not hitting now, probably some of them will not even understand what black people have been through and still going through till this very moment and all that. And now they also have to understand that most times their enemy is not even people that look like me. The government is also their enemy. And some of them fail to understand that, like they say, slavery never left. And that is actually true. They just rebranded it, and capitalism is like slavery rebranded, if you check it out. That's why I keep telling them, if you all don't speak out, because most times they feel like some certain things are not affecting them. But one thing is that when something touches the nose, eventually it is going to touch the eyes. Just that it may take time, but it will meet up, especially when it is very bad. It definitely will meet up. So some of them, when it is, they will rather still vote the wrong person in, and then come back to tell black people to save democracy, or say that black people told them, but they probably did not listen, and the rest of it. But yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. And the person saying that black people black people should buy PPO and all that, protect themselves and the rest of it. To an extent, I know it has really not been easy and all that. Even a black person with licensed PPO still get tased when they. I don't know, one thing with them always being threatened. You've got a pupil in the car, you're driving, they pull you over, and you actually tell them you have something. From that minute, they are already not at peace, and then probably the next thing they are threatened and maybe trying to take, because I have seen where things like that happen and all that. But one thing is that you can just never be very careful, but then I am in support of we protecting ourselves and being better and doing better and all that. So yeah, it's really like, a must do. And like the first young man that spoke, like, slavery is something that has come to stay, because when you talk about some certain things, some people will tell you, slavery is normal, but it's still very much alive. And I remember that I brought so many videos here where some people share their experiences about how they are still picking cottons in prison and all that. So not just only that, and some other recent events that happened. It's just evolved, and I want people to understand that. And the more we try to understand this, the better for us. So yeah, let me know what you all think in the comment section, and see you all in my next video. Bye for now.